Can you hear me now? Hey, way back there can you hear me in the back row? Okay, I'm talking loud. I can scream, but then I get ignored.
Where's the other speaker? You just don't carry well. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you grab the best mic.
Yeah.
So everybody, Johnny Moto, everybody.
All right. You know I sound younger than I look, but hey, you know, we got a great crowd out here, and well, I'll tell you what, this is probably the biggest crowd we've ever had for an induction ceremony. Give yourselves a hand. You know, one thing we want to do is give a shout out to Chuck Sundstrom from the Radford Racing School, providing us this opportunity to be here at this facility. So again, we've got pavement for show cars. Again, shout out to Chuck Sundstrom. Hey, at this time, Chris Thompson puts a lot of effort into all of the interviews. You can check them out on YouTube, the Arizona Legends. So, Chris?
Thank you, Johnny. Hey, everybody. How many? This is their first time, first reunion. Raise your hand. Wow! Thank you for joining us. How many been here 2 years? How about 5 years? How about 20 years? Yeah. Well, that goes to show that not that people don't want to come back, but we've lost a lot of good people over the years, and we always want to thank those who came before us, and that's what we try to do is with this whole reunion in our Hall of Fame and our Legends deals to pay tribute to everybody that's crossed our paths along the way in drag racing.
I just want to say thank you to everybody that's here. Thank you to all of our volunteers that have helped in keeping this thing going and doing everything that it needs to be done to make it happen. Thank you very much.
And thank you, Bill Gusick.
So one thing I've built great. This started off many years ago as this little get-together at the Gusick family's home, with Thelma and Eric Gusick hosting everybody. The whole family's carried this on. Tom, Deb, and Bill, and the late brother Jim had a lot to do with carrying this on and carrying it forward. So this is a dream, this is a passion of theirs, and if you see them along the way, thank them for what they do, because none of this would be here today if it wasn't for a wild idea that Bill had in his head that we had to make come to fruition. So we're going to start this off with one of our own Arizona drag racing legends from Races for Christ, or Ken Bowers.
Thank you very much. Would you please join me in a prayer of appreciation? Father, I thank you so very much for my colleagues and friends and fellow pilgrims in the world of motorsports that we're gathering to have a reunion and to acknowledge those who have been meaningful. Father, we remember this morning those who have gone on from this life, because we acknowledge that memories are gifts from God that death cannot destroy. Thank you, Father, for everyone here, and may we take something from our meeting and our reunion, and take something from the appreciation that you've allowed us to be a part of the motorsports world. We pray all these things in the name of our Lord that we acknowledge on Easter Sunday tomorrow. And everyone said, Amen.
So we've got a couple special awards we want to get out of the way. And we're going to bring up our good friend and one of the other creators of the whole Hall of Fame, and really what his passion to keep this going is Albert Eschenbach. So we have a special award because we care. You want to talk?
Yeah, we built a special award, and only 2 or 3 of us know about it. I don't even think Bill knows. But I built all the trophies you see up there, and glad to do it. And I built one more trophy. So, Bill, if you come over here, and you can help me give this away. And here's the trophy. You can read whose name it is.
got my name on it. Thank you.
So Bill Gusick.
Yeah, he didn't know about it, and I made a special Arizona Drag Racing Hall of Fame trophy. Thank you, Bill Gusick, for all you do. So, what a guy, what a friend. The Gusicks carrying this thing on. It's unbelievable where it started up at his mom and dad's house. And I think that was about 22 years,
27 years ago.
27.
Thank you, Al.
Hey, Al, let me tell you something. This man, he's only 27 years old, but he lived a hard life. But we're blessed to have him. He does so much for everybody. And if you want to see a good Legends video, go look at our Arizona Drag Legends video with Albert, and he can explain going down a hill in a soapbox pushed by his sister, the thing on flames as they drove by his parents' house. Yeah, and you just have to see the video. It's fantastic. Thank you, Albert, for all you do. We really appreciate it. Thank you, sir.
Hey, real quick, we have a lot of inductees here today. If you've been inducted into the Hall of Fame and you're here today, would you please raise your hand? We have a great group of people, previous inductees. Thank you so much for being part of our community. I mean, the Legends in Arizona, we are so fortunate to have such great people involved. In fact, I want to acknowledge also today, Chris Thompson had an opportunity to do another one of his Legends interviews, and with Ruth Tice. Ruth, if you would like to come up. But Ruth was married to Jim Tice from the ADRA, the American AHRA, American Hot Rod Association. And I'll tell you what, you've been living in the Midwest, but you still got a lot of ties here to the Arizona area.
Yes, I do. I love Arizona. And Beeline Dragway was one of my favorite tracks, so I always love coming here.
And you had an opportunity to work with this guy right there, Jim Rogers, on occasion?
Yes. In 1962, I met Jim.
He must have been about 15. You 16?
He was 20 and I was 21.
All right, well, that's a great deal. And what were you doing at the races back then?
Back then, a little bit of everything. I started out on the pit gate, spectator gate, and as time went on, Jim put me in charge of the money coming in the gates. So I hired ticket sellers and managed the money.
You know, it's crazy. A good friend of mine, Pappy Hart, I don't know if you ever had an opportunity, I'm sure you had an opportunity to meet Pappy Hart, but those were the days when I know at Beeline, they'd open the trunk, you'd be throwing money in there, and now it's all different. They don't even take cash anymore. I was at this place, I don't take cash, but it's like, it's a crazy world.
No, everything is sold ahead of time and there's no cash. Yeah.
Did you ever have an opportunity to catch that guy sitting on the floor over there, Johnny West, sneaking in the gate?
Probably.
Only when I was 8 years old.
When he was 8 years old, okay. But again, it's great to have you out here.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here. I really am.
And we're going to look forward to that interview on YouTube that you had with Chris.
Yes, this morning, yes.
Chances are, if you won a national event, Winter Nationals at Beeline Dragway, the HRA, the check was signed by Ruth. So I'll give her a big hand for that.
All right, thank you. Give it
So we have a little special presentation. As many of you may know that Tom Walsh is, how old is your dad now? Tom Walsh is a very creative and talented man. In '98, is still doing a lot of prints and memorabilia about our Arizona drag racing, different cars, and been so gracious that made this a regular event that we pay tribute to certain people in the history of Arizona drag racing with the Tom Walsh original. So you want to come up and we'll announce the people? Okay.
So the first drawing we did was Johnny Loper's Plymouth Arrow, driven by Eddie Pauling. And Eddie, if you're here, we have something for you.
No, not it. Is that Phillips here?
Eddie Collins here also.
He is?
Yes.
Where's he at?
Ed Phillips.
Well, that went well.
Is he in the restroom? But
Well, we'll go with Plan B. Ed Phillips, are you around?
They're together.
Yeah, they're hanging together.
Oh boy. Ed Smith.
hey, what's the deal here? I gotta ask. I mean, we got
Show the
3
pictures.
Eds.
We can show the pictures.
What happened to Ted? No. So Ed Smith.
Hey, while we're here, here's Mr. Smith.
And this is the Anglia Gasser Ed Smith Speed Shop. What a beautiful shot there. Congratulations. I like that hat. That's almost Amish style. No, actually I worked at Maple Grove Raceway. I like that style of hat. It's a beautiful hat. But congratulations, Ed Smith, and it's a beautiful drawing. There's no doubt.
Thanks for everything you've done, Ed. Another one of our Hall of Fame members.
Is Randy Ingram here?
Randy Ingram. And this is a drawing of the Randy's romper. What a beautiful picture there. Carnation milk. Chuck Speed Shot. Randy's romper.
A little background with that. Everybody that was involved with the reunion, that was their #1 car they wanted to see a drawing of.
All right. And a lifetime of friends.
You gotta love 55 Chevrolets, right?
Is Eddie Pauling?
There you go. The Eddies are in the house. The Eds are here.
Yeah, I see him.
Up here. Okay. You first, that's yours.
Sacrificial lamb.
Right here.
What we got here?
Oh, I'm gonna drive a funny car. How about that?
So a beautiful shot there of the,
Oh, is that?
again, these are Tom Walsh pictures being presented. This is the Johnny Loper funny car.
Before there was a trip you make, there was Eddie Paula driving the little Haas. So.
I wasn't with that car, he was.
This is fantastic.
Eddie, fondest memory of you driving that car. Give us a story. Come on.
On fire.
Being on fire.
Ah!
I had a special fire suit made when I was driving for Loper. As you all know, Loper pretty much, in some of his tuning, you had to have extra protection when you got in the seat.
Thanks for coming down off the mountain, Eddie. We're glad to have you here. Hall of Fame member.
This is beautiful. I want to say one other thing.
That's the best.
I'd like all of you to give appreciation to Bill Gusick and all his friends that put this show on for all of us drag racers and this reunion that we have, and it's been a wonderful, wonderful time, and I'm so glad to be here. Thank you all. Let's give a big hand to Bill.
What he said, Ed Phillip and Eddie also were partners in another car.
Isn't that something?
Hold it up so everybody can see this. The winemaker. Now this was a Very interesting car. It was a origin funny car before that was even cool. He made it cool.
Tell everybody I thought you were way off. Sure was.
Hold it up, Ed. Hold it. They want you to hold it up high. Put it above your head. Don't drop it on your head. Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much. I really, really appreciate this.
Is Jim Hughes or Bill Kidd here? Jim Hughes.
We're gonna let them accept it.
Okay. Dan Owen will accept the Tucson Dragway Tower. So great shot there, the Tucson Dragway Tower.
So Dan, with all the history of Tucson, is part of our Hall of Fame selection committee. But I have to ask you a question. What's that bandage on your hand?
What'd you say? Woodshop teacher?
He told me he cut off part of his finger. I said, now he's got to be a woodshop teacher. Some people get that.
Thanks, pal. Thanks.
My obstetrician because it's in your mouth.
Keith Stribling, you're in the building?
Well, it's cool in here.
Keith's done a lot for a lot of people over the years as far as he collects a lot of memorabilia. He's our Arizona race car racing parts picker. He knows the story and everything. He retired from UPS and then his real career began, and he does such a wonderful job of all the efforts to collect just memorable things and such. And thank you so much for what you've done. Hey.
And I believe they have torn the building down and they're going to build a Costco where the where Beeline Dragway was. Could very well be. There is going to be a.
I very much appreciate this. I've become like the historian on drag racing in Arizona. I was born and raised here. I went to Valley Speed as a kid, and they've all passed away now, and I have Valley Speed in my name, and I built the speed shop in my backyard as a tribute to them. It's a part of America that's gone that will never be back, and I want to capture that. We have a little impromptu car show at my house every year. I was going to do it one time, and after that people begged me to do it again. Last November was the 21st year we've done it. I had 150 cars in front of my house. It's just a day to give back to the people that really know what this racing is all about. And there's no crybabies, no stuffed animals, no popular vote. Just people coming and bringing their car and hanging out for the day. If for one day I can take all the crap that's happening in the world out of your mind and you can have just a fun day, my wife and I have done our job. And I appreciate this very much. It's very unexpected, but I appreciate everybody here. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Keith. So we're lucky to have in our attendance Mr. Plan A, or as I now call him, the Moose Keeper, Johnny West. Johnny, want to come up here?
That's what it looked like back in the 80s, too. You know, even today, I still feel like a young kid. Driving at 18 years old out of Beeline. That was the first place I got my fuel license when I was 17, 18 years old. With Bob DeYoung being tech guy, you know, and I still feel so fortunate that I still get to race today. Racing with the Moose, helping cruise some of these guys back east.
it just makes you feel so wanted, and I just love being in this sport. I can't ask for a better living. Thanks you all for all this.
Thank you, Johnny.
The Mercedes AA Fuel Dragster presented to Kenton Brett and Bill Turney. Kenton and Bill Turney.
Walter Nash.
Accepting the award, Walter Nash.
We'll take them both.
Just so everybody knows the backstory about those two cars. They were raced by Chris Karamessinis, but the crew chief was a guy named Don Maynard. He was from Tucson. He started out racing with the Speed Sport guys, and he is credited with the first 200-mile-an-hour drag racing pass. Don died in 1963, and this is my father and I's little shout out and remembrance to a guy that was truly a pioneer in the sport.
Beautiful, beautiful honor it is with such beautiful drawings. And as they grab the next one,
Albert Eschenbaugh, where are you? Can you come up here, please? Oh, there you are.
You sneaky.
I like that Bonneville 200-mile-an-hour club shirt that Al is wearing.
And the red cap.
So,
This car, this picture, was the very first car that Larry and I had. It was a KD8, but it was short, and he wanted to lengthen it. And I told him, that's a lot of work to lengthen it, right, and then you just got a bunch of tubing welded together. Let's build a whole car. So I built this chassis in 1960. And I've got it almost done, restored. A lot of the parts are original. What wasn't there, I built it in the beginning, so I recreated my work from just photos and memory. But this car is going to be done in a month or two. The engine's done, front end's all done, and it's exact, all the parts on it, so. Wow. Thank you very much.
and how about the Firebird Tower presented to Charlie Allen and Chuck Sundstrom. Chuck Sundstrom.
Tucson Tower and the Firebird Tower are actually the original artwork. Those are not prints.
Boy, beautiful, beautiful drawing it is.
Chuck, what's the name of that tower now?
Charlie Allen Tower.
The Charlie Allen Tower. I don't know if you knew that, but what a nice tribute to Charlie.
Woo!
And also, you know, when we opened it up, the shout out to Radford Racing School, Chuck Sundstrom is the general manager over here. He just came over from Firebird. He's running the junior event. He's got a drift event tonight and a lot of activities. Chuck, you know, we are very fortunate to have the ability to come here and utilize your facility. I want to thank you guys from Radford so much and for what you do at Firebird Raceway.
You're welcome, Johnny. I just want to thank everybody for coming out. Like Johnny said, we've got actually 5 events going on here today and tonight. which is kind of sucks in some ways. But the positive side of it again is motorsports in Arizona, right? I mean, we've gone back and forth the last couple of years, 3, 4, 5 years, and tracks are closing, and Speed World closed, and Firebird was going to close, and the opportunity for us to keep it going, keep motorsports going. It's all about you guys coming out, whether it's this event or it's the junior event, or we have monster trucks on the off-road. We're seeing an increase in the people and the events that want to come out here. So that's great. That's positive. It's great for all of us. So again, thank you all of you for supporting us, and thanks, Johnny. I mean, Johnny texted me and said, can you come over here for a minute? He didn't tell me I was actually going to have to come up here, but I should know better with Johnny. So I thought the lights didn't work or something. That's usually what it is. Yeah, so.
Got a problem with power over there.
Exactly. He's been upset all morning trying to get his power to work for his PA. So that's what I thought it was. So.
No,
thank you, Johnny.
And again, shout out. He is also my boss. So I mean, everything he does for me, a little raise. No, but a great job.
Johnny's not my boss, but I will say this. The fact that Firebird Raceway is still going is greatly from the efforts of Chuck Sundstrom. There are a lot of people involved, but Chuck did a lot of stuff to make it happen. So you want to support your local drag strip? Chuck put it there for us. Let's support our local drag strip. Thank you, Chuck.
You're welcome. Thanks again. All right.
Thank you, Chuck.
I go back to work now.
Yeah, Chuck Sundstrom. We have a special picture going to be presented to the Gusick family. Tell us about that picture.
Well, Bill sent me a Facebook post of the actual photo. I showed it to my father, and it was kind of a no-brainer. Just so you know, my first reunion was at Chaparral Park in front of the swimming pool, so that's how long I've been doing this.
Wow. 1991. Wow.
So this is from the Walsh family to the Arizona Racers, whoever passed under that bridge, that beeline, and the Gusick family in particular.
What a beautiful, beautiful drawing it is. Brings back such fond memories.
So Bill, Tom, Deb, one for each of you. Show them off. Let's give a big hand to Tom Walsh and the Walsh family for their efforts to and all these paintings to keep the memories of our local drag racing war alive. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Walsh. It's definitely a great addition to our ceremony that we have every year at the Racers Reunion.
It is. We're now starting to move into the awards part. First of all, we have 3 special Albert Ishenbaugh awards that we're going to let him come up and hand out. They're over there on the table. So Albert has an award. Since Albert has done so much, he has an award called the Pioneer Award. So here's his recipient. And wow. So one of this year's Pioneer Award recipients is?
We'd like to have Dave Settles come up and help me donate this trophy.
Dave Settles, come on. Dave comes all the way out from Florida to be here.
Dave and I have known each other almost for a lifetime. And the Pioneering Award, and it's just for older drag racing when it started. And he made the first data recorder for Top Fuel and Funny Car, and also in the fuel pump business in the early 60s. So the Pioneering Award is just for people that are 80 or close. So, and I'm running out of people to give it to, but Dave, Pioneering Award.
Dave Settle, please.
All right.
Albert needed a little time killer here, didn't he?
Anyway, thanks a bunch.
I mean, I do appreciate this. I really do.
So you flew this year. Now you have to carry that home in your luggage. Well, I'll figure it out. Give the Simon, I'll bring it to you.
All right. Anyway, Dave been drag racing his whole life. He wasted a lot of his life on drag racing and loved it.
Yep. Thank you, Dave. We're waiting for a house full of kids and campaigns.
Dave Settles. I like that gathering of the geezers shirt. That's a collectible right there.
Is Rick Dorsey or Yule Barnes in the house here?
Yeah, he is. Rick, join us, please. Thank you. Oh, there's you. All right. I'll be there. Wow. That's cool.
This next Pioneer Award is for Yule Barnes. And in the 60s, they had a Chevrolet dragster powered with a supercharger on it. And it was kind of weak getting off the line. And they knew they needed a 2-speed transmission. And they were smart enough to know that they couldn't put a shifting treading, because it was in them days you couldn't really, you could speed shift, but it still took time. So they got together with a guy at Calder Cadillac, and he built the very first 2-speed transmission out of a hydromatic transmission. And then Lenco caught on to it and developed finally what they call the Lenco, but it took a while. But they had the very first, and they call it the Howard Cam Shifter. So, and Howard Johansson was furnishing camshafts, and it had a Howard blower drive on it, a chain drive to the blower. So, Yule, there you go.
Well, it's very much a surprise, and I want to thank all of you for being here and for being the friends that we've shared over the Beeline times, and a lot of good people, and nothing better than good friends, and love you all. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
This next Pioneer Award, and I gave 3 of them this year for various reasons, because I'll be 86 in May, and I don't know how long or who will carry on the Pioneer Award, but we've given out most to the old guys that started drag racing and did well at it. So, and there's probably a few more guys out there. And if anybody has any suggestions, because this was started by the dragway out on Grand Avenue. And then when the drag strip quit, the Pioneer Award kind of dried up. So I just grabbed a hold of it and made it my deal. So if anybody has any input to who we could give these to, come up or see me later and tell me who you think would deserve a Pioneer Award. But it's got to be somebody from the 50s or 60s or...
Somebody had an idea, Albert.
Ted up.
Hope that's a phone call that you're getting.
Ted Olson, him and I started out when we probably met when we were about 11 or so. I've known him, seen him, and talked to him almost every day for all that time, 70-some years. And he's still building. We drove out here in his 55 Chevy truck with an LS3 in it. He's building, still building. At 86, a Model A coupe with a 56 Cadillac in it. So, and he's a close friend, but this pioneering deal, I decide. So, if anybody deserves that, Ted Olson does.
Albert and I go back 75 years or so. Started in go-karts. In fact, we had the first go-karts in the nation. We were in mechanics.
Mechanics Illustrated.
Yeah, Mechanics Illustrated in 1954, showing us racing go-karts. So,
wow.
We go a long way back. And I'm best known as Elder's Shadow. So, thank you very much.
Yeah. My Bonneville Lakester, Ted drove it at El Mirage and broke a record that was about 15 years old. So anyway, he did well, and that's the end of the Pioneering Award and the special events.
Thank you, Al Eschenbaugh. You don't look a day over 60.
What's that?
You don't look a day over 60.
Yeah, I feel 90.
That's the trouble sometimes. I feel that way, you know, when you feel older than you really are. But he does a great effort, puts a tremendous effort into the awards. And speaking of efforts, I want to thank all of our volunteers. Some of our volunteers are you in the room that help us put the event on.
Thank
Wendy.
you all volunteers. Thank you. Wendy, we need you up here. Not for an award, we need you. We need your help.
But again, we want to thank all of our volunteers that put out so much effort. Don Gainey, Don, are you in here? He's probably out there doing something. But again, it takes a lot of people to put this event on, and we want to give a shout out to all those folks that help us do that.
And if any of you are interested in volunteering, we could use a little bit more help. As we're starting to time out on our own a little bit, and it's just we want to keep this going, so we're looking for some younger people who have the same passions we did. So Bill Gusick is the contact, and contact myself, Mike Beakey, Wendy, anybody that you see that's any staff member. Let us know if you're interested in helping, please.
Younger.
Younger, yes.
I like that. Hey, the Donnie's in the house. Don and Donnie. I'd like to see that from Tucson. Hey, Wendy's going to be handing out our honorees for this year's inductees to our Hall of Fame. So at this time, Mike Abbey Sr. He has been a lifelong racing enthusiast. Starting with the 1955 Chevrolet, working his way through stock, modified eliminator, competition eliminator, and top fuel. His accomplishments include a Kansas State Stock Eliminator Championship, finalist finishes at the Hot Rod Reunion and the World Series of Drag Racing, and earning a Top Sportsman Wally at an NHRA event in Phoenix. What meant the most to Mike was sharing racing with his family, running a Cackle top fuel car with his daughter Wendy, and supporting his son Mike Jr. through quarter midgets, NASCAR late models, USAC pavement sprint cars. He also took great pride in helping young people get involved in the sport. Mike believes some of the best people in the world come from the racing community and is grateful to have been part of it his entire life. Congratulations, Mike Abbey Sr.
Thank you, Mike. You got something to say?
Yeah, it's really an honor to receive this from Arizona guys. We live in Iowa now, and we are tractor pulling. It's just like drag racing, just a little smaller. And there's quite a few guys here that I helped get started in drag racing. I'm really proud of them. They went on to be really super people. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you, Mike. Mike, well, I didn't say Mike's helped a lot of other people, inspired a lot of people to go racing, and there's a lot of clones of Mike running around, and that's not a bad thing. Thank you, Mike.
The next recipient, Brian Ashworth. At just 11 years old, Brian Ashworth attended races at Beeline Dragway, an experience that ignited a lifelong passion for drag racing and set the course for his future. He began competing in 1976 at the Beeline Midnight Drags and quickly made his mark by winning a high school race that same year. An early sign of his talent and determination, from 1983 through 1993, Brian raced extensively at Phoenix Dragway, building a reputation as a skilled, dependable, and knowledgeable competitor. During this time, his involvement with Ed Bottoms further deepened his expertise in engine performance and chassis development. Over the years, Brian earned the trust and respect of racers and teams. He drove for Greg Selwick in a 1994 Superstar car, and Chris in the Blackjack Mustang, piloted a fuel-altered for Chris Thompson, and demonstrated versatility across multiple high-performance platforms. Beyond his accomplishments behind the wheel, Brian was widely respected for his character and contributions off the track. He had always been known as someone willing to lend a hand, reliable, knowledgeable, and generous with his time. So Brian Ashworth, and receiving the award, his lovely wife, Becky.
Well, Becky's asked me to say a few things. We lost Brian just a little while ago. He was quite the hero to a lot of guys. The fact that he went through a liver transplant and survived 6 years, 5 years. He gave us 5 extra years of. It wasn't easy on him. He went a lot of doctor's visits, a lot of stuff. But he wanted to stick around, and he did a lot in that last 5 years. Helped a lot of people. I'm going to miss him. I couldn't think of a better person to drive my car. He was a hell of a driver. He could tell you what the car did, where it did on the track, and what it needed to be. He could cut a light, and he could give you feedback at the same time. Not all drivers can do that. But he was a great man on top of it. He's got even Becky here behind, and we got Becky, and we're very blessed. But Brian, God bless you. We miss you.
Listen a lot. I wish he was here for this. He would be honored.
He'd be very honored. He'd be blown away. He deserves this. Thank you.
Thank you, Becky. Our next inductee, like many racers, Lloyd Christensen started on a budget. His 55 Chevrolet, powered by a big block and a 4-speed, ran in the 11-second super stock class. He was close friends with Jim Trimmings, and the two worked together weekly to improve their cars. When the 55 sedan became uncompetitive, Lloyd lightened it, added a straight front axle, painted it blue, and renamed it Uptight. After a few seasons, he moved into a Camaro for the junior pro stock class, keeping the big block power and similar paint scheme. Following the tragic loss of Jim Trimmings at Tucson Dragway, Lloyd stepped away from racing to focus on his family. Even after his racing days, Lloyd remained known for helping others and stayed passionate about cars, building standout street rods, pickups, and muscle cars. He's still the same friendly, easygoing person he's always been. Lloyd Christensen. Walter Nash accepting.
Lloyd was a longtime Tucson drag racer in the early days.
Whoa. Look at this. It is alive.
Oh, yeah.
This is even better than I thought. We didn't see you earlier, sorry.
Your demise has been highly exaggerated.
You heard there's a free lunch, right? So you showed up for you.
Yeah. Ran right up.
Congratulations.
Well, I want to thank you for this award. It means a lot to me, and a lot of people that help me out. That's all I can say. Very much, you know who they are, and that's all I can say is, that always a racer at heart.
All right.
Well, we're glad you can make it. Your story's fantastic. The tournament with the Hall of a Racer, and I can see why you inspired you so much.
Yeah.
Lloyd Christensen. One thing about these microphones, if you, I know it's really hard, a lot of people don't like to, you can talk by them, but if you put it right out in front of you, because, it's interesting when you're here, we have an opportunity to hear every word, and I do hope that everybody in the back of the room will be able to hear when we talk about the accolades, especially of some of these recipients of our reunion, of course, Hall of Fame. The next person has been involved with drag racing since teenage years and has devoted decades to supporting and strengthening the sport in Arizona. The contributions made by this person were not necessarily from behind the wheel. The impact has been significant and lasting. This person played an important role in running team races at Speed World, later at Firebird Raceway, helping organize events that brought racers together and strengthened the racing community. Was also involved with the junior dragsters, supporting young racers and encouraging the next generation of drag racing families. In fact, right now is very active in big wheel competition, which is kind of crazy. It's like 2 and 3 year old kids that are out there pre-junior drag racing. Drag racing has always been a central part of this person's life, and her partner in crime races, sons race, and has consistently been present at the track, always willing to help in any way needed, widely known for dedication, reliability, and behind-the-scenes efforts that helped keep events running smoothly and racers supported. This person also helped run and promote the NHRA Junior Street and Junior Dragster racing programs at the Arizona Track Firebird Motorsports Park, supporting youth racing development. These programs are designed to give teenagers and young racers a chance to compete at the strip under structured, licensed conditions. And this person has actively coordinated these programs, helped grow participation, worked with families and racers in the Arizona drag racing community, and is solely responsible for numerous wins in bringing racers together at Summit Series events. And I mean, the effort this young lady has put forth in drag racing is respected by everybody that has ever been involved at Speed World, Firebird Raceway, and let's give a big hand, Victoria Griffey. And by the way, you'll be out in a couple weeks for the big wheel competition and everything, right?
Yep, we will.
Victoria, you have been so instrumental. I've had an opportunity to work with you so much. And, you know, some people eat, sleep, and just live drag racing, and you are definitely one of those people.
I am. I have been for a long time, yes.
But, okay, did you guys drive a 70 out here, a 70 model? Did he bring one of the cars?
No, not today.
But again, we want to thank you.
Thank you.
Who are you hanging out with? You got a whole bunch of family out here with you now.
It's always been a running joke with me that whoever got the lease over it, started off with PRP, you inherited me. So Bob and Carolyn Curley, I was with them through the whole time. And when they left, Joe and Lena Coletti, and after them, We had Dan came in, but we also had Bill Botella. He was in there too. So I always stuck around with them, always been there. They let me, so I took advantage of it. But my love has always been the racers, to take care of everybody. They've been my family, my friends. I always wanted to make sure they were welcome, always made sure that the track was as best as we could be and have the most fun that we could be and continue it. I'm a perfect example. My grandkids are doing big wheels. And we continued on of the friends that we all make along the way. We're all family, every one of us. And back in the day, I did drag race. So I do have a show full of trophies. So, but this is an honor. I'm shaking because I'm just so excited and I'm so thankful. And I'm very, very blessed. God is good.
Victoria Griffey, everybody.
Victoria Griffey. And our next inductee, Walt Morgan. Walt Morgan has been a pillar in the Arizona drag racing community for over 50 years, known as much as his generosity as his successes. Racers knew they could always count on him for parts, advice, or a helping hand. But if you lined up against him, you were in for a tough race. He started with a $15 1950 Oldsmobile. That makes me think I had a 50 Oldsmobile and it cost a lot more than $15. He later built the iconic White Ghost, powered by a 324 cubic inch engine. In 1977, he scored a major win at the AHRA Winter Nationals, earning a cover feature and going on to win countless local events. Walt later raced a 69 Dodge Dart and an 85 Chevy Malibu, capturing 2 Pro championships and a Super Chevy Sunday win in 2003. His Dart was donated to the Cholla High School drag racing program and remains part of his legacy, now preserved by his grandson, Sean. Even after a serious health setback in 2012, Walt returned to racing, competing and winning in a 1985 Mustang until retiring in 2025 at the age of 86. Walt's legacy lives on through the racers he helped and the family inspired, the lasting impact he made on Arizona drag racing. Walt Morgan.
Welcome. Congratulations. What's this with the announcer? Cholla. What's Cholla? That was Cholla High School. Oh, yeah. That was Choya. Oh, come on, Johnny. How long you live here?
This is overwhelming because I've never had a funny car. I've never had a hot dragster or anything. I've always raced the stock cars, and I want to thank all the guys up here, and I want to thank my son Scott. He's been bugging these people for years to get me in here, and I would have never made it here if it wasn't for my other son Jeff, because every time I break a car, he fixes it. And I'm not a mechanic at all. And I just would like to let you know really how old I am. My first pass was at Cordova, Illinois, and that's at a sanctioned drag strip. It was Cordova, Illinois in the fall of 1957. And my last pass was at Tucson Dragway in January of 2024. Wow. And I sure wish I could do it again.
Thank you all. I think everyone for your work. Okay, thank you all. Got a picture here?
Walt Morgan.
Don't forget your better half, never. She's the one that got you that second car. That's why I was told.
Okay, there we go.
She does remind me ever so often that she won a track championship 24 years before I did.
inductee. The next inductee, Larry Smith. Larry Smith, he's been, in his career, he's been racing for 37 years. He, in fact, had well over 100 wins with multiple championships, and he's the kind of guy would help everyone. So, again, congratulations to Larry Smith.
Well, Larry Smith's son.
Yes.
I knew Larry many years ago. I knew him to be a fine racer, a guy that I had a lot of great talks with, a lot of very inspiring, helped me out, a lot of ideas, and he was very, very giving, very sharing. And there's a good reason why he's going into Arizona Racing Hall of Fame.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
And in the room, how many people we have coming up from Tucson, Arizona? I want to thank all of our Tucson
Thank you
folks,
very much.
the Hawks, the Toyas here, and a whole bunch of group came up, actually drove up today. Our next inductee is a racer I'm quite familiar with. He's been out here racing at Firebird Motorsports Park, coming from the Southern California area. I had one more page to go and he flipped it the other way, but that's okay, that's all right. But this gentleman's he's well respected in the drag racing community, coming here from Southern California. While he may not appear in national championship records, his impact has been felt at the grassroots level for over 4 decades. Bruce Williams began racing at iconic California drag strips, including Lyons Dragway, Orange County International Raceway, Bakersfield, and Irwindale. After relocating to Arizona in 1986, he continued his racing career with his well-known Supergas Corvette, later transitioning to a rear-engine top dragster for even greater performance. Beyond his own accomplishments, Bruce is the patriarch of a 3-generation drag racing family, passing down his passion and knowledge of the sport. He is also highly regarded for his ability to build winning race combinations, helping many fellow racers find success on the track. Like many dedicated racers, drag racing is more than a hobby for Bruce. It is a lifelong passion. He has consistently supported others in the racing community, offering both technical expertise and a helping hand to keep competitors racing. Above all, Bruce is a devoted father, grandfather who values family above all else. Together, he and his family are known not only for their love of racing, but for their willingness to help others whenever needed. An engine builder, and in fact, he's talked his lovely wife, Ellen, to get a new motor for her car that he probably burned up, but no. Again, right now, ladies and gentlemen, it's my honor, Bruce Williams. And of course, Bruce, his son Blake, and they have, in fact, right here in this room, Parker, in fact, the young son, Bruce was a crew chief for Blake, now Blake's a crew chief for his son, but great efforts, a great family of racers right here, Bruce Williams.
Thanks, Johnny. That's great. I gotta say, I'm truly humbled to have my name associated with the other people that have come up here already. I also want to give a big shout out to Chuck Sundstrom, Casey, Bonnie, Jim Hughes, Bill Kidd. Without those guys, we wouldn't have the happiest place in the world out here. This is my Disneyland. I told my wife a long time ago I want to be the first one in the gate and the last one to leave. Unfortunately, to be the last one to leave, you got to win. So I didn't get to hold that do that as often as possible. But this is truly a family, and it is just wonderful to have the friendship, the association, to BS with everybody, tell lies about one another when they're not there. it's just an amazing family to be associated with. Like I said, I'm truly humbled to be included. And to be considered a legend, I don't know about that. I just was never smart enough to quit when I should have. Since I've about run out of all my kids' inheritance money, I think my racing career is about to end. But I will still continue to come to this racetrack as long as I can walk in on my own 2 legs. Thank you so much to everybody.
Thank you, Bruce. Before we get to our last recipient, one thing I want to mention, over the last few years, we've made some changes to the process of the Arizona Drag Racing Hall of Fame. We now do an open nomination period with paper ballots that you can fill out, and we're going to continue to improve the process, how we distribute them. But as you can see, there's a variety of people here representing the new Hall of Fame inductee class. We want to thank those who are involved with it because there's a lot of work. Those who put nominations in, don't give up on your people. It doesn't mean they're not Hall of Fame worthy. It just means maybe this wasn't their year. It will happen. Please keep the nominations coming. Our next nomination process will start in December, and we'll finish about the middle of January. And you'll have plenty of notice through our social media sites. And if you are not sure if you're going to miss on it, just drop me a message, and we'll make sure you get a ballot.
Thank you, Chris. And by the way, you're not going to get out of racing there, Bruce. Ain't going to happen. Ain't going to happen. But next recipient, Dave Waller, Dave Waller, self-proclaimed nickname, the old-time Arizona drag racer. It describes Dave's passion and longevity for the sport. Over his 70 years in the sport, he has been an owner, driver, crew, manufacturer, parts supplier, sponsor, and an avid spectator. He was a street racer that took his passion to the original Mel Larson's Dragway, Deer Valley Dragway, Old Tucson Dragway, Phoenix Raceway. Yes, they held a drag race there for a few years. Speed World, and of course Firebird Raceway. He has raced stock, hot rod, dragster, gassers, super gas, super comp, and top dragsters. He was also instrumental with the teams of Seifert Brothers and Wilson, Valley Speed Center entries, John Powers, Rickard and Niver, and also Dean Carter. So again, congratulations to Dave Waller.
Thank you very much. I'm very honored to get this award. I really want to say high praise for Bill Gusick and the family, and really appreciate it. Thank you very much.
And you know, Mike Beakey is right here, his lovely wife, and they are so responsible for
Stand up, you two. Please stand up.
But doing the Arizona Legends interviews. And two, anybody in this room, if you would like to be part of one of the Arizona Legends interviews, just contact Chris and they'd be more than happy to.
Well, the secret is.
The secret. What is the
Bill
secret?
Bill is the executive producer of the Arizona Drag Racing Legends. But you can message either Bill or myself. We're always looking for people. Sometimes what is the legend to us is a legend, not a legend to somebody else. And you have legends that mean they're important to you. So we want to make sure we get everybody that we can. We've done almost 100 videos now. Many, unfortunately, but fortunately, have passed. But the great thing about it is we have them on video. Their story, their lives, their dreams, their love about drag racing will live on forever. And we appreciate your support in that.
Thank you to Chris and Mike for everything that they do. Thank you to my brother Tom for allowing us to use his shop to do the videos in. And like Chris says, if there's somebody you think that's worthy, let us know.
I think everybody in this room is worthy. Again, I want to thank you all for
worthy.
participating in this reunion this week.
Hey, I want to thank people over here that really, there's a lot of people here that may not have been involved deeply in the Arizona drag racing scene, but they live in Arizona now. And if you come here, you've joined us. My friend Simon Menzies is here. Simon raced at Beeline, and he did show up a little bit, but he was a big-time Southern California racer. Lives up in Prescott now, and he's adopted our love for our patches. He's been here 2 years in a row now. And other people like Simon, if you're here, thank you for joining us. You're just as important to us as everybody else. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
And one more, Ruth Tice. There will be, as mentioned earlier, we'll have a Drag Racing Legends video we filmed this morning with Ruth. Ruth was I don't know about most of you guys here, but we all realize if you really have had any type of success, there's probably a good woman behind you and kicking you in the butt when the time to be kicked in the butt. Do the right thing to keep you on the straight and narrow. Ruth was definitely that person for Jim Tice. And Tom Sands, thank you for all you did to get Ruth here. You got some celebrity you want to bring in and come and join us next year? Please do. We'd love to host them.
Again, I want to thank you all. Give yourselves a big hand. Again, I want to congratulate all of our inductees for our Hall of Fame for the 2026 season.